Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a new edition of the Daily Debate. In tonight's show, we're going to be focusing on a very special event, which is the October 1973 war victory that coincides on the 6th of October. It's the 46th anniversary, and ever since then, Sinai has been part and parcel of Egypt's national security, politics, and economy. Now, Sinai witnessed over the past few years a major battle against the extremist and terrorist elements, and also has been the site of many economical developments taking place there. That's going to be our focus for tonight, and joining us here in the studio to shed more light on this file is Ambassador Mohammed Shazli, member of the Egyptian Council for Foreign Affairs. We're also joined by Dr. Mohammed Abdul Halim, the political analyst. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us this evening.
Thank you. The pleasure is all mine.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we start our discussion regarding tonight's topic, the main story for today is President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi hosting the 7th three-way summit with the Cypriot President Nikos Anastasiades and the Greek Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis, during which they reviewed bilateral ties in addition of a number of regional issues of mutual concern. And after the summit, the trio held a press conference, and we earlier spoke to Nile TV's senior correspondent Taghreed Hussein, who briefed us on a comprehensive briefing of the summit. Let's check it out and we'll be right back.
And of course, I'm now delighted to be joined by Nile TV senior correspondent Taghreed Hussein, who attended the 7th three-way summit between Egyptian and Cypriot and Greek leaders. Taghreed, can you hear us?
Yes, dear.
It's a very good afternoon to you, Taghreed. Of course, the press conference held the three-way summit between the Egyptian, Cypriot and Greek leadership was a very important indication on the ties between the three countries and the importance of the relations between the three countries. What can you tell us stood out most in the discussions and the conference that you attended?
Angie, a very important meeting, Egypt hosting the 7th tripartite summit with Cyprus and Greece on Tuesday, discussing common key challenges. The summit was headed by His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi in the presence of the Cypriot President Nikos Anastasiades and the Greek Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis. The summit is the 7th gathering the leaders of the three countries since 2014. As you know, in May 2018, an Egyptian-Greek Cypriot summit was held back in Athens. The timing also, Angie, is very crucial in light of the latest developments in the Eastern Mediterranean region. During the summit, the three leaders had signed bilateral and trilateral investment agreements. They also stressed on the importance of cooperation between neighboring countries as a cornerstone of stability in the Eastern Mediterranean region. Earlier, as you know, on Thursday, Turkey announced that it had sent a drilling ship to waters of southern Cyprus, where Greek Cypriot authorities had awarded hydrocarbon exploration rights to Italian and French companies. So definitely the summit also tackled the Turkish aggression. The summit started with His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi asserting that it gives him a great pleasure to welcome the leaders in Egypt, and talked about the strong trilateral cooperation in the different domains, and talked about the consultations and how a number of joint programs are there in the field of investment, and also how they tackle challenges facing the Middle East region, and talked about the file of combating terrorism. They talked also illegal migration and reaching a political solution in Libya, which is considered essential. Also facing any sort of developments. They talked the Syrian file, developments on the Syrian front. On the Palestinian issue, the Palestinians should regain their legitimate rights which is establishing an independent Palestinian state with Jerusalem as its capital. Achieving peace and security is a priority, President Sisi affirmed in their trilateral cooperation. The President thanked the leaders for their keenness on further boosting this strong trilateral cooperation. And the Cypriot president, on his behalf, thanked President Sisi and stated that we're looking to further cooperation with Egypt. And he stated that they talked very important files at this important visit: defense, interior, energy, and also environmental preservation. They also talked about the combating illegal migration, and they also talked climate change, which is considered to be also very important. They tackled the Libyan files, the Palestinian question. They also talked about the developments vis-a-vis facing the Turkish aggression, the unacceptable unilateral steps on behalf of Turkey that threatens the Eastern Mediterranean stability. The president of Cyprus said that the Cypriot people admire Egypt's stance and Greece to support Cyprus, and said that we condemn the Turkish aggressive steps. The Cypriots admire Egypt and Greece's supporting to the file, safeguarding their national security. And the political will and determination is definitely there, as the president of Cyprus also said, that this would really help further our trilateral cooperation. Once again, he thanked the President Sisi, for the warm welcome and the hospitality that he and the delegation received here in Egypt. And he said that we are looking forward to the 8th summit in Cyprus. On his behalf, the Greek Prime Minister said that the trilateral cooperation is very strong, and thanked President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi for this important opportunity to share, and asserted that Egypt is not only a friend but a strong heavyweight country in the region that has a very important role to play, and cited the important roles played by Egypt in the OIC and also in Africa, as Egypt chairs the African Union 2019. He talked about Egypt as a very important and effective partner in the fight against terrorism, and said that Egypt throughout history has a very rich culture and has also a very rich Greek community. So definitely he said Egypt is this is a great bridge, that great community of communication between the two people, and stated also more about signing agreements at this 7th important summit, and said that I wish to invite the two presidents to visit Athens in 2020, and talked about also the very important initiative cultural-wise that would also foster communication and people-to-people relations, which, as you remember, the Roots revival, or the Nostos.
Back to the Roots program.
Yes, the Roots program, that was also a very important issue. Mind you, Angie, that the cooperation mechanism between the three countries is a very solid and strategic foundation in the region. And definitely it reflects the leaders' sincere desire to move forward with this strong and long partnership that is based not only on the realities of the geographical proximity, but also on the historical legacy and also on the common cultural divide. So they meet on one important file on efforts of combating terrorism. The Egyptian, Greek, Cypriot tripartite or trilateral summit would always represent the invincible fortress in the face of the escalating challenges. First and foremost comes the expansion of any sort of extremism and terrorism. Also cooperation in the field not only of combating terrorism, but you have also diplomatically and politically. You have climate change, which is also a very important sector, following the initiatives that has been undertaken by the President of Cyprus and the Egyptian government during the United Nations Climate Action Summit in New York. And Egypt today is attaching great attention to climate change, formulating a comprehensive strategy addressing the threats of climate change and preventing their impact on the people and the environment is high on the foreign policy agendas of the three countries.
Absolutely. Yes.